in both the differences of both countries.
What are the similarities? You've been in Ghana for a while, and you've been in Japan because obviously you are from there. How are we the same, and in what ways are we different? Because when these young people go, they actually live the cultural differences as they interact with people in your country, and your people interact when they come here. Where are we similar and where are we different?
I think there's a lot of similarity, of course. We are all humans, so we feel the same.
One.
Yes. But I think it comes in both ways. It's kind of similar, but it's different because of, I think, our level of, development. But I think your culture respects personal relationship. When you greet, and then you ask whether your family is okay.
As a family.
Yes, your relatives are okay. So this kind of relationship, the community is very strong. Japan used to have that kind of community relationship.
You used to have?
Yes, we used to have. So that was really strong. But I think as we became more urbanized, people went away from the community and then becoming more of individual. But when the younger people, the youth of Japan comes to Ghana, first they are shocked about how the community is tight, but then they realize the importance of this community. Like it's kind of like a support system within the community. So yeah, I think those values should be nourished or valued.
And they can always be improved.
Yes.
So what are the kind of improvements you're looking for? And when you're having these conversations, exchanging these cultural ideas, what does it mean for the creative space, for example? Because we've talked about startups and SMEs and businesses. There's also a huge chunk of that space that creatives fit into. And what would you say about those?
I think so the mentality should be changing. I think Ghanaians should be more confident about themselves and believe in themselves that they are able to change or they are able to bring more value addition by themselves, right? And then, but also be, how do you say? I can't have the word, but be able to learn from others. So that humble enough to learn from others, so that first learn and then be able to create by yourself. This is what Japan has been doing for so many decades. We have learned from maybe United States or Europe, but then we made it ourselves and then make value addition by ourselves. So these things can occur in Ghana.
In terms of trade, what does trade look like between Ghana and Japan?
Trade currently, I think for Japan, we import a lot of cocoa, chocolates from Ghana. But I think that for Ghana and Africa, of course, our relationship, trade relationship is also important, but I think the regional trade needs to be enforced. Regional trade meaning the trade within Africa. So we are also supporting AFCFTA, and I think this creates a lot of opportunity and also benefits a lot of people. It's said in the World Bank report that 30 million people will be out of poverty by 2035 if the AFCFTA is implemented properly. But this comes with also challenges. For AFCFTA to work, you need to have a regional market. You need to have access to these markets, so logistics, road infrastructures, maybe ports are also important, railways may be also important, and also barriers that are inhibiting these trade facilitation. They are both tariff but also non-tariff barriers there. So these needs to be eliminated, and also industry needs to be developed. So they are all things that we need to do together with other development partners, and of course with the government of Ghana.
So those would be additional measures that would actualize, because the policy is already on paper for Africa to trade within itself.
Yes.
But like I say, the challenges, the hindrances are enormous. How does Japan intend to help or assist in addressing that? You've talked about, building ports, roads, rail. Are there any such plans in the making? Are those being discussed at the meeting at TICAD 9?
Yes, I think, yes. These JICA is now also focusing on corridor development, because 90% of this transport is right now roads, through roads. So we are also supporting international corridors. And also we are supporting border posts. We are supporting GRA, yes, customs authorities, and yes. And also we are supporting to develop value chains within Ghana.
In Ghana and beyond Ghana.
Yes.
So it's not just a Ghana conversation. It's also how we link with other parts of the continent.
That's true.
And so these developments will cover all those.
Yes.
Okay. So it sounds very capital intensive. How do we ensure that these trade integration efforts bring some real tangible benefits to the Ghanaian, to the African, to the Japanese investor who is already hesitant about, building or developing a strong footing in Africa?
So I think that's why the initiative called IDEA is also necessary, to bring other resources, not only government resources like JICA or Ghanaian government, but also bringing private investments to these development issues. So that's one thing. And then I think to also have a coherent kind of policy, not within Ghana, but also throughout Africa. So these kind of coordination within countries, because AFCFTA is also between countries in Africa. So those kind of coordination is also necessary.
All right, let's talk about the environmental issues and building resilience. We talk about building a 21st century business that is mindful of using green energy, creating safe spaces, being mindful of flooding and natural disasters, and being ready to respond to them. What are the discussions, what are the foundations that are being laid for these to happen?
Again, I think these issues are so vast that we need to bring all stakeholders together. It's not only about resource meaning of monetary resources, but also technologies. We need to bring in technologies that can solve these issues. So again, the private sector's role is very important, I think.
So at this TICAD conference, and perhaps we'll be wrapping up, we are looking not just at Ghana, beyond Ghana, to a bigger African market and the access, the role that Japan can play in all that. What do you expect as Japan to get from this partnership, and what do you expect Ghana to give in this partnership?
I think these development challenges are not challenges that affects one country. It's a global challenge. Climate change or maybe infectious disease, these are global challenges. I think working together is first necessary. So that is one thing that we also need from Ghanaian side or the African side. Working together. But also, I think that for Japan, even though we have the technology, we don't know whether it is useful, or we don't know the context of Africa. So having that youth that knows the context of Africa and being able to penetrate within the African market, that is also very necessary. So that kind of co-working or partnership, I think, is also necessary.
What future do you see when you look ahead at relationships between Ghana and Japan? What does that look like?
I think it is a partnership that is rooted in mutual respect, of course, and also that brings innovation together. I think by working together, we can create more value so that we can have more better future for our descendants, for the next generation. And that, yes, I think it's a partnership that will build on trust and that will be more stronger in the future.
Okay,
yes.
Our president is in Japan. What should he not leave without doing? Give me a tip that President Mahama, do this. You definitely have to try this before you come back.
Eat the sushi. Yes.
Mr. President, that's one-on-one just for you. Eat
sushi.
Sushi,
yes,
okay.
Japanese cuisine.
Japanese cuisine,
yes.
exquisite. There's a presenter here, Valerie. She loves sushi.
Okay.
We'll send her off to you one of these days so she can try some of the sushi. Madam Suzuki Momoko, she is a chief representative of JICA, and she's been here to talk to us about the TICAD that is happening, TICAD 9 in Japan. President Mahama is there. They're exploring ways for Japan and Ghana and indeed the rest of the continent to build stronger ties in terms of cooperation and development. And conversations will still continue to be had. Climate change and other global challenges are being discussed and addressed at TICAD 9. Japan is offering initiatives that empower the youth and promote trade and investment between Japan and Ghana, among Japan and other African countries, and it's all to ensure that Japanese technology is made relevant to Africa's problems and to address the challenges that we all face. Also, Japan is learning from Ghana on its cultural exchanges and how young people can be made aware of how things work in other parts of the globe. So a lot of trust and partnership is being formed at this TICAD 9 conference, and Momoki Suzuki has been telling us all about it. Ma'am, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And once again, you look lovely. Make more of these outfits. It is for you.
Thank you so much.
All right. So that's our conversation with JICA on TICAD 9. We'll take a break. When we return, the BFS continues. If you're celebrating your birthday, the yellow-clad gentleman in the black hat will share some wishes your way. Stay with us.